Philip Parker, Andrew Rich. The two names of the past NRSL Mountain Dew for the Win Cup Series Daytona 500 champions. Only one is in the field this year. We'd like to dedicate 23 seconds of silence to Andrew Rich, who could not race this season due to an injury away from the NRSL scene. We shall begin those 23 seconds after the command is finished. But first, to your starting lineup. On the pole, the car that won it all 2 years ago. It was driven by Phil Parker, and it was a Chevrolet, but Edwin Mendez puts this number 4 Busch Stewart-Haas racing car back at the front here at Daytona. He will sit on the pole alongside new rookie 15 of Jay Jefferson, looking to start off his season with a bang. And then behind them, could it get more star-studded in row 2 than this? You've got your 2017 champion Caleb Hoffman, who has still not won a race in his career, alongside the defending 2018 champion Jonny Gardner, looking to get career win number 7 here in the Daytona 500. Row 3, we've got TJ Hanley taking the 24 ride for the first time in his career, and Ace Rogers, who replaces older brother Zack Rogers as a trio of rookies step into Bulldog Motorsports. Row 4 is Quentin Moore, a driver who won one race in his rookie season at Martinsville with Nate Rogers, who went winless in 2018 and hopes to get back in victory lane in 2019. And then in row 5, we've got the leader of the new BMW Roush Fenway Racing Team, DJ Curtis, looks to improve upon his much better 2018 season. Can he get higher than 8th in points this time around? He sits next to a rookie in the form of Ryan Brommer, driving for the Wood Brothers number 21 team. And now we will go through the rest of the starting lineup. In row 6, Sebastian Kukulon and Gatlin Downey. Row 7 is last year's pole sitter Mark Riggleman alongside Zack Flickinger. In row 8 is James Qualls and fellow 3-time winner from last year, Jonathan Sorlin. Correction, Qualls did not win 3 times last year. He didn't win at all. In row number, did I do this right? I'm goofing, guys. 6, 7, 8. In row 9 is Peter Sands and Austin Alves. Row 10, Jessica Shelton and Tony Green. Row 11 is Alex Gray and Charles Sanford. Row 12, Rob Evans and John Arndt. Row 13 is Charles Jackson and Zachary Fitzwater Sr. Row 14, we have Marty Johnson and Seth Cole. Row 15 is Levi McIntyre and Kev Shearer. Row 16, we find Andrew Miller and Dylan Young. In row 17 is Phil Parker, our 2017 Daytona 500 winner, alongside the car that is qualified on the pole in 2017, but it was not the same driver. And this time, Samit Oskin in this car, he started second in this race last year. Row 18 is Patrick Sick and Nico Tringali. Row 19, William Flickinger and James Shelley. Row 20 is Jose Mills and William Brock. And in row 21 is Alex Ferranti and Cole Deaver. And with that, it's time for the command to fire engines.
Drivers, start your engine!
And now, he ain't dead, but he is out for the season. 23 seconds of silence beginning now. Thank you. So we look at seasons of drivers who did not get the races they wanted And it starts with 2017 Daytona 500 winner Phil Parker returning to Stewart-Haas Racing, this time around in the 41, this time around in a 41 at the Stay in Ford camp. He got his wish. 10th in the chase points back in 2017, 8 top 5s, 10 top 10s. Last year, he did have 2 poles to his 1 pole in 2017, but he only had 2 top 5s and 6 top 10s, so we'll see what Phil Parker is able to accomplish. Many other drivers of note. We went through this in the preview show. But Caleb Hoffman definitely will probably want to find his way into victory lane at some point here in 2019. It's only a 25 race schedule, 5 playoff races. Can the 2017 champ get back in form? He qualified 3rd here today. But Edwin Mendez, a driver who was not running in 2018, and a fresh face in Jay Jefferson lead the field down. Green flag is out. 2019 is underway. As we're 3 wide already, the Cup cars do take about a lap to a lap and a half to get up to speed versus the trucks. And the first lap led in 2019 will be Edwin Mendez. TJ Hanley leads the bottom, Hoffman leading the middle. A few teams with some new schemes this year. Other teams pretty much same colors as last year. As TJ Hanley will jump to the top line after clearing from the bottom. We saw our first wreck in the truck series on lap number 2. Those trucks get a lot bigger runs. The Cup cars, you've kind of just got to work your way through the line you're in. So we shouldn't see much 4 wide action in this Cup race here, but Quentin Moore will lead lap number 2. As could BMW lead a lap in the first race of the season. New manufacturer for the 2nd year in a row. And unlike Audi, they selected a team already in the sport, a 3-car team at that. DJ Curtis and Austin Alves stayed on board. Kev Shearer moved over from Go Fast Penny Enterprises to take that 6-car new sponsorship from Starcom Fiber. You can see him there. He's one of the few yellow cars in the field. But Curtis will be unable to lead this lap, as coming up on the bottom is someone who dominated this race. Well, I don't know about dominated, but she led a lot of laps last year, and that's Jessica Shelton, who finds herself to now be the only female driver in the Cup Series. With the retirement of Deanna Jones, it goes from 2 to 1. Time will tell when Audra Baran-Auskas makes the jump from the Truck Series. But it looks like we're just kind of cycling around right now until pit stops. These drivers not wanting to do anything crazy, as John Arndt and Alex Gray will lead the field to the line this time by. 4 of our 80 laps are complete. We are, I believe, I don't know what the percentage is. I can't do math right now. Three Chevrolets leading here. Gray, Arndt, Sanford. Now how about Charles Sanford? Let's talk about this man right here in the 03 car. 38th in points. in 2018. In 2017, he was 16th last in the Chase standings. 1 win at Watkins Glen back then, 1 win at Texas in the Chase last year. He had better stats last year, though, versus 2017. 3 poles in 2018 to his 2 poles in 2017. Same amount of top 5s, but 9 top 10s to the 6 top 10s he saw in 2017. Obviously, the surge of performance came in the playoffs or when it became too late to get into the top 30 in points. But right now he leads the middle line as Charles Jackson. There's a notable driver. Charles Jackson managed to make the playoffs and he finished 7th in points without winning a single race. Jackson did win 2 races in 2017, both which were playoff races, and he finished 17th in points in that season. So definitely a step up for Jackson. However, 2017, 9 top 5s, 9 top 10s. So he finished every race he had a top 10, he was in the top 5. 2018, he only had 2 top 5s to his 9 top 10s. And we were borderline about to go 3 wide as Levi McIntyre takes the lead. Now, Levi has been able to bring in some sponsorship that many would suggest is suggestive to a racing series, and that is SevBellringer.com. Not going to go into many of the details since I'm not allowed to talk about that here on YouTube. But, yeah, Levi, he don't care. He's a rookie. The sanctioning body was like, sure, whatever. Maybe it'll win a race. Maybe it won't win a race. Speaking of more rookie faces, William Flickinger taking over in the 77. Diego Yepes unable to find the ride. Yepes did win the summer Daytona race, but other than that, his performance wasn't anything to put a spotlight on. It is noted that it gets tougher each year as a rookie to win in this series, as Alex Ferranti, a second-year driver, jumps to the lead. We saw Ferranti showing some very good aggression throughout the course of the season on separate occasions, but it only amounted to him finishing 33rd in the point standings. 2 poles, however, with 3 top 5s and 8 top 10s. We'll see what he can do. Jose Mills is going to come up here and clear. Another one of our rookies. This car was driven by Tony Green, 2017. 2017 champion Philip Goldberg drove the car last year, and Goldberg sits without a ride in Cup or trucks coming into 2019. James Shelley, teammate Andrew Miller, they're up to the front here. James Shelley's looking to rebound from a dismal 2018 where he found himself finish 23rd in the point standings with no wins to show for it. He did have 2 wins and a 5th place in the points back in 2017. So we'll see if Shelley can find himself back in victory lane. Andrew Miller, a new driver for the team in the 8. William Brock went from the 21 to the 31. Now Brock did finish decently in the standings. Did I write him down at all? Yes, he did. He finished 11th in points. Brock was another one of those drivers who made the chase without a win, which was definitely a step up to his 2017. This man is still looking for that first career win. 26 in points in 2017, 11th in the points and in the chase last season. Add 1 top 5 from 2017 to 2018 and 3 top 10s along with a pole, as now Patrick Sick, a rookie, and Samet Oskin, they jumped to the top 2 spots. Oskin found himself with a bad season. He ended up 32nd in points, 21st in points was his result in 2017 with a win at the Sebring circuit. And now here's a man at the front we want to talk about, Seth Cole, 4th in points last year, 30th in 2017, missed the chase despite having a 3-win season in 2017, 2 wins last year, 4 poles over the course of the year, which is the most we've ever seen. This man's one to be reckoned with. I told you in my prediction video, my Final Four is the same as it was last year, considering we've lost Andrew Rich and Deanna Jones. So we'll see if that prediction comes true. I'm very glad to see that the Cup drivers, unlike the truck drivers, have actually been able to keep this thing green the whole way so far. Speaking of green, Tony Green in the 40 car. New team this year for Tony. He finished dead last in points in 2017. In 2018, he found himself finish. Where did he finish? 24th in the points. He went from the number 4 to the number 40, so definitely a step up for Tony. But we'll see if that results in a win for the driver of the number 40 Chevrolet new team car right here, as we're seeing the top line start to come into play, led by Seth Cole, who did get a win at Pensacola in the playoffs last year. Zack Flickinger, fellow plate race winner back in 2017. As I mentioned it on poll day, we are still waiting to see someone officially get a second super speedway win. It hasn't been done officially in 2 points paying races. However, Deanna Jones did win Talladega and the All-Star race last year. But we're looking for someone to get the W in 2 points paying super speedway races. There's a decent amount of chances to do it this year. Daytona, Talladega, M&M's, and then 2 trips to Pensacola. Seth Cole holding strong on that top line. We're on lap 15 of 80. We'll see when pit stops occur, but right now they're still just in a deadlock, 3 wide all around. So look at that bottom line. It's led by Zack Flickinger. He's got Gatlin Downey, Ryan Brommer, whatever it is, Ace Rogers, and 2018 champ Jonny Gardner sit down there. As now Flickinger will move to the middle. But Seth Cole, the first to lead some consistent laps here today. And he'll drop straight back down to the middle as Downey will now lead the bottom line. See Mendez behind Jay Jefferson. That's what goes to the top and falls back. Eventually gets back to the bottom. And now Sick with a huge run. He'll dive down for the race lead in turn 3. Does he have enough momentum to complete the pass on Seth Cole? Seth Cole's going to stay on the top, and it looks like Patrick Sick with that huge run takes the race lead here at Daytona. What a move by the rookie. This car was driven by Emmanuel Hartnett last year. Hartnett running full-time in the trucks, so he won't be in the Cup Series this season. See Seth Cole trying to inch into a hole on the top, but Sick will pull the block. Now you definitely want to be on the bottom for pit stops, otherwise you're going to have to wait a lap, and if you wait too many laps, you run the risk of running out of gas, and it looks like Brommer is going to clear and lead a lap. That allows Ace Rogers to lead the bottom line. As we mentioned, 3 rookies at Bulldog Motorsports this year. Kugelon, the 3rd different driver in the 9 over 3 seasons. Ace replacing older brother Zach. And Marty Johnson replacing retiring driver Deanna Jones. Andrew Rich's ride, which would have been the 23, is on hold for 2020. Lap 18 of 80, we should see pit stops here soon as Ace Rogers. Does he have the lap letter? Sick gonna get a run on the top. And Ace gets it himself a bonus point. Points are very different this year. I forgot to write down how they're gonna be handed out. But it's a little bit different in 2019 versus 2018 yet again. For those that have seen the truck points, they know what I'm talking about. So Gardner will hop up to the middle line ahead of Ace. Jefferson will get to lead the bottom line now as Patrick Sick and Seth Cole have not had anybody jump in front of them. And here comes the first round of pit stops. And it looks like Gardner will duck down pit road ahead of Jay Jefferson, Edwin Mendez, Zack Flickinger, and others. And that split up the field tremendously. Not as bad as I originally thought. I mean, these guys did hit the brakes. But that allows Seth Cole to get back around Patrick Sick for the race lead. And Sick is making a move for the lead. I would not want to be doing that. Oskin's getting a huge run there in third. We'll see who comes down this time. Looks like everyone except Seth Cole. Oh, Nate Rogers is going to pile drive Jose Mills. Ferranti with nowhere to go. Will Mills get it back around? He will, but that hurts Ferranti, Green, Sanford, Qualls, Fitzwater, and Gray. Seth Cole and a handful of other drivers stayed out. If you're Seth Cole, you don't want to get stuck on the top line. And he's going to pull down behind Quentin Moore. And Seth Cole will come down pit road as deep and hard as he can. DJ Curtis, Dylan Young, Rob Evans, Levi McIntyre, as Flickinger could not get down pit road and he is running out of gas. William Flickinger in the 77 to be exact. He has run out of gas. He's going to slam it down onto the apron. And this is not the way the rookie in the 77 car wanted to start his season off. What does this mean for Jose Mills, who has back end damage? You know, he will get by Flickinger with ease. William gave him the lane. But William Flickinger, I'm sorry, runs out of gas. There is Seth Cole, fresh from his pit stop. Looks like he's going to retain the lead. There's Curtis, Young, and Evans. And there's the pack. Patrick Sick will pass everyone from the looks of it. And he will be sitting in second place. Oh, and we've got a wreck. Curtis is around. There's a big wreck in turn 3. Calamity after pit stops. And this will help Seth Cole keep the lead as the first caution of the Daytona 500 occurs. Mark Riggleman is smoking. Andrew Miller, Gatlin Downey. There's William. He's going to pit for gas. William Brock is destroyed. Dylan Young, Levi McIntyre, Ryan Brahmer, Sebastian Kukulon, DJ Curtis. Their days are over. Caleb Hoffman, your 2017 champion, has heavy front end damage. Tony Green has some pieces of damage. What on earth happened? Ace Rogers has some heavy front end damage, and he crossed the line in 14th. I think we've lost a good chunk of the field. So we'll step aside from the live action and show you the race replay. Alright, here we go. We know we saw Curtis around, so I'm assuming it started with him. This is right after Sick passed. Dylan Young's making a move to pass Curtis right out of pit road. They were 3 wide behind them. Oh, and Dylan actually turns Curtis straight up the racetrack. Right in front of traffic. Cole Deaver barely misses his Miller. Marty Johnson, Ace Rogers, nowhere to go. There's Jonny Gardner clipping William Brock. And the track is blocked. This isn't good. Oh, and here comes Sebastian Kukulon head on into William Brock. Brian Brommer, Levi McIntyre with nowhere to go. Look at the calamity ensuing. William Brock is tumbling. That's not the first time we've seen someone tumbling. James Shelley's going to barely make it through here. Mark Riggleman's going to have nowhere to go. He makes contact with Levi McIntyre. William Brock still tumbling. Miller falls back down on the racetrack. And that was it for the accident. No one else was involved. Let's take another quick look at what happened to William Brock. Oh my goodness, what an accident. Full speed. Kukulon just had he was just trying to gun it through the wreck and Brock slid down. What a terrible accident. Let's take a few onboards. On board with Dylan Young. What in the heck happened here? It looked like maybe a misjudge. Not really sure. Inside the cockpit of William Brock, who has no idea what's about to happen. Wow, even the cockpit camera gets a little fizzy there. Let's take it to the race restart. Getting ready to go back racing. Drivers out of the race. Nate Rogers, William Brock, Andrew Miller, Levi McIntyre, Dylan Young, DJ Curtis, Sebastian Kukulon, Mark Rickelman, Gatlin Downey, Ryan Brommer, and Ace Rogers. 31 cars remain on the track as it looks like we've got some strategy going on here again. Rob Evans is your race leader. Behind him, James Qualls and Alex Gray, as I believe the top 3 stayed out. Seth Cole sits in 4th, Patrick Sick 5th, Jonathan Zorlin 6th, Sam Roskin 7th, Quentin Moore 8th, Zack Flickinger in 9th, and Cole Deaver rounds out the top 10. As we go through the rest of the order, trying to recall who had damage in that wreck and continue. Well, Jose Mills got pile drived on pit road. Jonny Gardner we know was involved. Green I don't believe was, but Caleb Hoffman was, and he is without a hood. So it looks like the defending champions are possibly out of this thing. I mean, Gardner did send Brock straight down the track. We'll see what occurs here. Let's look at your fast lap of the race. Jonathan Zorlin with a 44.838. Green flag back out at Daytona. We are green again. Excuse me. And Rob Evans is running part-time in trucks. He got to drive the truck here at Daytona last night. He will turn those duties over to Gardner for Atlanta. Running full-time though in the Cup Series out of the 5th Go Fast Petty Enterprises Chevrolet. Seth Cole wasting no time, right back up to the front. Seth Cole looking for that race lead as the pack begins to bunch up 3 wide. We'll see just how many cars are still up to speed. But what a bizarre wreck. Looked like Dylan was either trying to side draft him or something. DJ, I guess he thought DJ was going to hug it a little harder into turn 3. I don't know. It looked like it was a barely clipping wreck. Seth Cole no longer leading that middle lane. Zack Flickinger. Here's a BMW. Kev Shearer, we saw showed some speed last season at certain tracks, but he never got the job done. Could that change in 2019? As let's look at the season review for Kev Shearer. Where did you finish in points? 22nd, 2 poles, 5 top 5s and 9 top 10s. So we'll see if this season is better or worse. Speaking of looking at better seasons, Cole Deaver, the rookie breakout, 3 wins, 6 top 5s, 13 top 10s last year. Second season, it's time to go get that title in the eyes of Cole Deaver, trying to pull a Jonny Gardner in a way, I believe. As most will know, Gardner, second in points in 2017, champion in 2018. There's really nowhere for Gardner to go but down. Nico Tringali in the Audi. There's another driver who has not won a race in his career yet. Audi looking to get their win before BMW does. As let's see, Charles Jackson is just at the back of this pack. We have a total of 27 drivers in this lead pack. As it looks like Jackson will lose. Tony Green, Jose Mills off pace, and Caleb Hoffman in a world of his own. So Hoffman, if Hoffman is caught before these drivers wreck again, it should space the field out and we should hopefully be good to go all the way. As we know, last year we had a sort of green-white checkered at the end, 100 lap race last year. In 2017, it was, I believe, a 50 lap affair that had one big wreck and then went green because there were only 3 cars battling for the lead at the end of the race. Looks like Jackson is struggling, strangling, just reaching to stay in this draft. But we're 3 wide all the way around. His teammates, Jessica Shelton, Charles Sanford. Sanford leads the bottom, Shelton leading the middle, and then Mr. I Am Triggered Kev Shearer leads the top line. Still very early, lap 32 of 80. No one wants to make any crazy moves, but it looks like that is going to happen. Jefferson was about to make it 4 wide. Sanford was banging doors with Shelton, but he was able to get back down in front of the 15. Jackson doing a very good job staying up to speed, a good 6/10 behind the draft. Not sure how much longer that will last, but Caleb Hoffman is definitely on the radar here soon. Oh yeah, only 173 miles an hour for Caleb Hoffman. He hits the start-finish line there, and here come the leaders. Shearer, Shelton, Sanford still lead the first 3 lines. No super speedway wins between any of them. In fact, 2 of these drivers doesn't even have a career win in the Cup Series. Rob Evans peaking from the top line. They know they're about to catch Caleb Hoffman. What line is going to get the advantage here? The top, the middle, or the bottom? Jefferson's peeking low yet again. Nothing going. Now this should help Jackson catch up to the pack. Regardless, Shearer's got the edge at the start-finish line again. Here we go. It's Caleb Hoffman time. The riding lane is usually the middle to the bottom. And that's going to let Shearer fly right on by. The bottom flies right on by too. Shearer, Evans, Tringali, Sanford, and Jefferson shoot straight on by. Hoffman will now hug below next to the yellow line as these top 5 clear. And now here comes everyone else. So it looks like Hoffman will hold up the bottom. That is actually the line Jackson is going to choose to take. Will Hoffman slide up to the middle? Yes, he will. That's going to hold up Seth Cole, Oskin, and Sorlin. And now he moves to the top in front of Zack Flickinger. Quentin Moore instinctively moves straight to the bottom. Hoffman did get up to 184 running in this draft. That's going to hurt these drivers just a wee bit less, as it looks like TJ Hanley and Zack Flickinger will be the last drivers to get around Hoffman, as Flickinger will choose to take his pass to the right side, and with that they have passed and cleared the 14. But the top 5 have broken away. It's Shearer, Evans, Tringali, Sanford, and Jefferson. Only one of these drivers has won in the Cup Series. None of them at a super speedway. So to reiterate, Sanford has won races, but he hasn't won at a plate track. And how about this for craziness? 3 Chevrolets, an Audi, and a BMW. Would it come down to Audi or BMW pushing the rival to the win if it came down to it? I wonder. Would they prefer a Chevrolet push them to the win, as Evans makes the move? No help. Sanford helps Shearer instead, and Tringali will now come to the bottom. Jefferson just kind of riding at the back as Shelton leads the big group. Sands and Shelley on the top. Qualls, Gardner in the middle. I guess Gardner is not off pace. Patrick 6 on the bottom. Now if they can just stay in line, they could have a chance to catch. And it looks like they'd rather battle it out for 6th. Maybe Peter Sands thinks he has a better shot of catching. And these drivers are only a 5-driver field. If they were to go 3 wide, it could make it very easy for that secondary pack to catch up. So we are definitely going to close in on our next round of pit stops. As you see, even though Sands made the move for 6th, they closed in 6 hundredths of a second. See, Shearer's only leading about 197. Shelton is already going close to 200, so we've still got a huge monster pack pushing and shoving from behind here. But will they get there before pit stops, and could this cause another pit stop accident like we saw with Jose Mills? Trying to see if TJ Hanley or Zack Flickinger has lost the draft of that pack. The answer is yes for Flickinger. For TJ Hanley, it's very close. Four cars in line on the top. Jefferson, Lone Rebel on the bottom. As I think these top 5 would love to all be single file heading into pit stops. Evans makes a move on the lead again, as Tringali will be the first one down pit road, and he will come by himself. No other takers. Jackson clearly maybe with damage. He's losing the draft yet again as the pack begins to catch. That pack went down from 5 cars to 4, and on top of that, Evans is trying to go for the lead. So this will allow the main pack behind them to catch up for sure. We're halfway through this year's Daytona 500 already. Wow. And it looks like Jefferson might be signaling he's coming to pit road, unless that's a move for 3rd place. Shearer and Sanford will come down pit road. Seth Cole, James Qualls. As, oh my goodness, Jefferson hit the brakes. It looked like Jefferson was maybe going to think about coming down pit road. He hit the brakes, and that jacked up the field. Evans did the same thing, and that puts Jessica Shelton to the race lead. There's Nico Tringali out of pit road already, but with no help. Shelton does not want to be held up by a lap car again and run out of gas like last season. They're getting a run behind her. I wonder if she's going to pit this time or not. Shelley and others are coming down. Shelley, Evans, Gray, Alves, and Arndt. As many more begin to hit the brakes yet again. This time Mendez and Sands get the run on Shelton. There's Tringali, Jackson, Seth Cole, Qualls, Sanford, Shearer coming out. No one close enough to one another to pull a Dylan Young. It looks like Tringali should fall right in line with those drivers, as here come the leaders. Mendez getting the push from a fellow Ford in the form of Peter Sands. Now this is where things could get dicey. Will we see someone else pull a William Flickinger? Sands, Sorlin, Oskin, Fitzwater, Sick, all coming down. Here comes Jay Jefferson flying in. Oh, he gets stopped in time. And apparently William Flickinger managed to stay on the lead lap during that caution. I did not realize. Oh, and it looks like John Arndt has back end damage. Oh, yes, he does. The 05 with back end damage. Not sure what happened to him. Mendez in the lead. Shelton, Phil Parker. The other 2 lead lap cars up here. They've got Seth Cole in this draft. See, does Mendez pit this time? It looks like Phil Parker is. Yep, Mendez, Parker, Shelton, they're all going to come down pit road. Gardner, Ferranti, Deaver. That's the rest of the field. So Samet Oskin leading his group out. Oh, Peter Sands and these drivers are pretty close. Sick is pretty close to Peter Sands. I'm a little worried about this one. Please do not pull another Dylan Young. Please, please, please. He's going to fall in line. Oh, thank goodness. Oh. That was very close. Shearer and Tringali, who lead their group, they're going to split Fitzwater in the middle. Shearer will just hit the brakes. He's going to fall in line behind Oskin, it appears. There's Deaver, there's Ferranti, there's Gardner, there's Shelton, and there's Mendez. Phil Parker leads them out of pit road. Now remember, Phil Parker was pushed to his Daytona 500 win by a teammate. It was the 14 car. Would the same thing happen here with Edwin Mendez? As the main pack caught Caleb Hoffman as they were racing up towards the leaders, and that's going to really hurt them. So Hoffman holds up drivers yet again. Parker to the lead. Fitzwater in second. We're on lap 45. These drivers will all have to pit one more time. Shelton, Shearer, Mendez, Sick, Tringali, Oskin, Seth Cole, Alex Gray, Shelley, Sanford, Sands, Qualls. Those are the drivers that appear to be in contention right now. As Fitzwater will take the lead from Phil Parker. Parker was definitely far ahead, and by no surprise, the draft made him a sitting duck. Could Fitzwater score career victory number 3? Well, maybe, maybe not. I cannot believe I'm still having these lag problems. Jessica Shelton to the race lead. Shearer right on her back bumper. Now he'll move low. Help from Oskin. Seth Cole is in the pack. Seth Cole has shown to be, I think, the strongest car out of them all. So we have a 12-car group right here. Looks like Sands and Qualls ended up losing their draft. So we'll see what this group does. They're on about 4 different strategies. So Oskin in the middle. Seth Cole to the bottom, Shearer to the right. Let's look at this top 12. Out of the top 12, winners from last season include Seth Cole, Alex Gray, Zachary Fitzwater Sr., and Charles Sanford. There's only 4 winners from last year in this top 12, so very good odds we see a new winner, or a winner who was not a winner last year. Out of these top 12 drivers, first-time winners would be Shearer, Shelton, Tringali, Patrick Sick, and Edwin Mendez. And then drivers who won in 2017 but not 2018 would come down to James Shelley and Phil Parker. Right now it looks like Shelton and Shearer have a very good handle on this race. Shearer will drop to the bottom, looking for the race lead here on lap 50 of 80. 30 laps to go at the start-finish line. Shearer leads that time by. Sands and Qualls slowly falling back to a pack full of a numerous amount of cars. And that pack includes Cole Deaver, Jonathan Zorlin, William Flickinger, Jay Jefferson, Quentin Moore, Charles Jackson, Rob Evans, Alex Ferranti, and John Arndt. Zack Flickinger, Austin Alves, Jonny Gardner, and TJ Hanley in a group of their own. And Marty Johnson, the only up-to-speed car by himself, after what I would assume was a poor pit stop. Jose Mills, we know, has damage. Oh, Tony Green actually decided to retire as they are borderline 4 wide up here. What are they doing? So perhaps Tony Green was the one who made contact with John Arndt. That could explain why Green retired. They are 4 wide. Oh no, he's not centered. He's split 4 wide with 2 cars. Phil Parker is the leader. Now they're 4 wide, borderline 2 lanes. It's 2 lanes, 4 wide all the way to the top. What on earth is going on? It's lap 52. Door banging, door banging, door banging between Sick and Fitzwater. Still door banging. Sanford leads at the start-finish line. One of the 4 wides is gone. But for how long? Sick and Fitzwater still door banging. Still door banging. Phil Parker is on the top against the wall. And Fitzwater's got draft from Alex Gray. Can he clear Patrick Sick? Oh, he just can't do it. Sick's getting draft from Charles Sanford. There's about to be another 4 wide behind them. Sick. Oh, Sick just about turned Charles Sanford to get in line, and they are no longer 4 wide. Whew, I can breathe again. Edwin Mendez has taken the race lead through all of that mayhem. Man, I remained calm, and they managed to remain calm, and they prevented themselves from dying. Should be another 10 laps away from the final round of pit stops. And to see this pack crumble, I think the advantage is really in the hands of Tringali, because when he pits first, anyone behind him is going to have to stop on the brake pedal to not run somebody else over. But if Tringali is on the top when he wants to pit, he'll have to go another lap, and then he'll be pitting probably with someone else, as the leaders are going to catch Caleb Hoffman for the 3rd time. Jose Mills will be caught for the 1st time. So let's see how Hoffman holds up this mess. Tringali will duck low. Seth Cole, Kev Shear, James Shelley will fly on by, then Samet Oskin, Fitzwater, Shelton, Phil Parker. So getting held up will be Patrick Sick, Charles Sanford, Edwin Mendez, and Alex Gray. And now we will see what damage Jose Mills does. He's a lot more up to speed here on lap 56. Seth Cole leading the field, teammate James Shelley to his inside. Shear's in the middle borderline. Let's see who has the advantage this time. I think it's going to go to James Shelley, as Mills will move to the top line, and that is the truth. Shelley clears, Shear will clear. Fitzwater, Shelton, Parker, Tringali, Sick. Looks like Seth Cole and Samet Oskin will be the ones hurt here. Lucky for them, Sanford, Gray, and Mendez were hurt last time. It looks like Mills is actually going to get pushed up to speed in this draft, and that will prevent anyone else from being hurt tremendously. Seth Cole's trying to find a way around them, but it looks like Sanford, Gray, and Mendez will catch back up, as Evans and Jackson find themselves losing their pack, who have had problems now with Caleb Hoffman. So the pack is reunited once again. Jessica Shelton in the race lead. Man, I am so psyched to see how this race ends. We went from a 26 car pack to a 12 car pack. I'm wondering, we usually don't go down to as many cars as we did. Usually it goes down lower than 12. I'd be very curious to see if it stays 12. My prediction is it's going to go down to 8. Jose Mills is keeping pace in this draft for the time being. If Gray gets by him and Mendez gets in line with Jose Mills' draft, that could help Mendez catch back up, because he is about to lose the draft. And Mendez could be safe here. He's going pretty dang fast. As Patrick Sick, the rookie, leads the field. I didn't get to talk about the rookie statistic of this pack. Patrick Sick, and that's it. That's the only rookie in this group. Tringali, a 3rd-year driver. Shelton, Shearer, 2nd year. Seth Cole, 3rd year. Phil Parker, a 3rd year. Oskin, 3rd year. Fitzwater, 3rd year. Shelley, 3rd year. Sanford, 3rd year. Gray's third year, and Mendez is the second-year driver who took a year off last year. Very unique driver stories if any of these ones win this race. Remember, Alex Gray has won at a super speedway before. Talladega. Nope, not Talladega. That was Flickinger. Alex Gray won the Daytona Summer Race in 2017. Seth Cole won Pensacola in the fall last year. And Phil Parker won the Daytona 500 in 2017. So those are our three past super speedway winners in this group. As Mills has finally lost the pack, and it looks like Seth Cole and Kev Shear will be the first ones down pit road. So not Nico Tringali. And that split the group up as predicted. It didn't affect Sick, Shelton, Oskin, Tringali, or Phil Parker, but Gray, Shelley, Sanford, Mendez, and Fitzwater were greatly affected. We're on lap 61. It's the window to make it to the end on gas. We had 2 cautions in this race last year. 2017, I think, was a 1 or 2 caution affair. This year, it looks like it could be a 1 caution affair. As Tringali will dive down pit road. Here comes Alex Gray, Shelley, and Sanford. And there's our second group, which begins to catch Fitzwater and Mendez, who have lost the leaders by about 3 seconds. So 2 Fords, a Chevy, and a Toyota up front here. Toyota does not have a lot of opportunities to win races because they don't have a lot of drivers or cars. They're about in the same boat as Dodge is. So I can't think of any other Toyotas aside from Joe Gibbs Racing. Oh no, Jessica Shelton manages to get by Seth Cole there. Remember, lap car scooter, and that time it's going to be Oskin who pits all the way from the middle of the racetrack. But we have a caution flag regardless. Oh my goodness. Oh, and there's a huge wreck. James Qualls is in it. Oh, who was that? That was Peter Sands, Quentin Moore. Oh, what on earth happened? That's going to hurt a lot of drivers, including someone who was just lapped, Seth Cole. It looks like Phil Parker, Patrick Sick, and Kev Shear are still racing back. Tringali and Gray are trying to stay on the lead lap here. Gray will, but Tringali's going to fall a lap down. And this changes everything. Let's see what happened to bring out the second caution of the day. And I'm not sure why this occurred. This looks like this might have just been communication gone wrong. I'm not sure if Sands wanted the pit or if he just came down a little too hard, but he gets into William Flickinger and boom, he goes around. Look at the rear tires off the ground. Quentin Moore, James Qualls involved. William Flickinger's on his lid, and then here we go. Just like the truck race, we have to have a few barrel rolls, and Peter Sands is going to do his best Ryan Newman impression here today. He's barrel rolling already on the pavement, and he's going straight towards that grass. And oh my goodness, look at the car in the air. Holy goodness gracious, slams hard on the roof. Back on all 4 tires. But the momentum is still swinging. He goes back on the roof. Quentin Moore's going to pile drive him and send him spinning like a top Clint Boyer style. Right across the start-finish line. So he pulls off 2 impersonations in this wreck. And then drivers scraping the wall to not make contact with Peter Sands. So only a 4-car incident, but we're taking it on board for sure with William Flickinger and Peter Sands. First, we'll go on board with the 77 of William Flickinger. Almost went on his lid. Oh my goodness gracious, look at this. Holy goodness gracious. And that'll do it for William. On board with Peter Sands, who does a Richard Petty, Brian Newman, and a Clint Boyer impersonation, all in one wreck. Albeit he doesn't hit that catch fence. Look at the airtime on that thing. And with that, Peter Sands' Daytona 500 comes to a violent end. Well, things are about to get crazy with 13 laps to go out of the race. William Flickinger, Peter Sands, and Quentin Moore. Hoffman 3 laps down. Mendez 1 lap down. And a good amount of cars tail end the lead lap. Marty Johnson, John Arndt, Seth Cole, Charles Jackson, James Shelley, Charles Sanford, Kev Shearer, and Nico Tringali. 17 cars are on the lead lap that will go for this win unless we get a quick caution flag. Your lead lap car rundown, I guess. Salmon Oskin in the lead. Fitzwater Sr. second. Patrick Sick third. Phil Parker fourth. Jay Jefferson fifth. Jessica Shelton in sixth. Jonathan Sorlin seventh. Alex Ferranti eighth. Austin Elves ninth. And TJ Hanley 10th. And then we've got Zack Flickinger, Jonny Gardner, Rob Evans, Alex Gray, Cole Deaver, James Qualls, and Edwin Mendez, who just pit from the lead. So we will watch from the middle of the pack as the mayhem breaks out. Panic ensues. It's time to get yourself a Daytona 500 trophy. And hopefully, I don't see a fifth insane flip over the course of the whole race weekend. I don't understand it. We didn't have a huge amount of flips last season. So I really don't understand why these wrecks are occurring here today. I was just expecting some big pileups, not people literally dying. This Peter Sands wreck, I don't know if it was more insane. I know Logan York's extreme barrel rolling competition in the truck race last night was utterly crazy, but Peter Sands' airtime and reenactment accident was just as crazy. And of course, Caleb Hoffman restarting on the bottom is going to get in the way. It looks like Fitzwater will take the race lead here, as the drivers on the tail end are hoping that someone does something really stupid. Fitzwater, one of the few drivers who stayed out to the point of where that caution flag occurred. Same with Jessica Shelton. What on earth are they doing? There is so much movement going on right now. Jose Mills, the other lap car. Fitzwater on the bottom has Jonathan Sorlin. To his back bumper, Jay Jefferson, the outside pole sitter's up here vying for a win. Alex Ferranti's out here vying for a win. We have not had a rookie Daytona 500 winner. 2017 does not count. It was the inaugural season. Last year we saw Andrew Rich take the checkered flag. Will another veteran get it, or will we have a first-time rookie Daytona 500 winner? Battling up ahead of them really gives the lines back here equal draft potential, as Sorlin will take the lead. Sorlin won one race at Michigan in 2017. Last year he won at Charlotte, Sonoma, and I want to say he won at Meadowlands. I want to say he won at Meadowlands, but I could be mistaken. 3 wide. They're going to try and put Shearer, Seth Cole, those two very strong race cars, a lap down, in the case another caution occurs. But you can just see the pack is still all strangled out. As we hit 10 laps to go, Sorlin is your race leader. And it looks like he's going to move to the preferred middle line. Jay Jefferson behind him in second. TJ Hanley, the next car on the lead lap on that bottom line. Fitzwater's by himself in the middle. Ferranti Phil Parker there on the bottom. Jefferson will move up to the middle. So it looks like we will have 27 cars finish this race. That's more than the truck race, but we're starting to get into that three-wide craziness as Jefferson and Sorlin battle it out for the race lead. Sorlin gets that run and leads the lap with 9 circuits remaining. A lap car leads the bottom line in the form of Charles Jackson. If he clears, that opens it up for 2 Hendrick drivers, TJ Hanley and Alex Ferranti. We haven't even really talked about Hendrick. The 5, the 05, the 24, the 48. John Arndt is not in this picture. He is a lap down in 25th. But Sorlin, TJ, and Ferranti are. And it looks like we might go forward. And we will. Jefferson and Jackson are in the grass. They hit the inside wall. I don't even know what Jefferson. There he. Oh my God. It just doesn't end. As Jefferson literally hit a glitch spot and disappeared. Hanley's destroyed. Jackson was destroyed. That took out the whole field. Only Jonathan Sorlin remains. Shearer and Seth Cole have a chance to get back on the lead lap, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. No, I don't think they're going to get there. We're going to have another restart. Now that was ridiculous. Jefferson hit a glitch spot and retired himself immediately. And this weekend continues to bamboozle me. Well then, since the whole field's dead, let's take a look at the replay. So, TJ was making the move to make it 4 wide, or Jackson slid up. One of the two, but when you make contact at a certain angle with these cars, if you turn the wheel to the right, you're going to send both of yourselves down. And that's what apparently happened here with Jackson and Jefferson, but they did it in such a dramatic fashion that they got pulled straight left. Now, there was not a pit wall to hit like this, like what usually occurs, and then it looks like they were trying to jerk the wheel to the left again at the pit lane. And then they just like lost control. Jefferson and Jackson hit the wall. Jefferson hits a glitch spot that Jackson doesn't hit. And then look at this. Straight up into TJ Hanley. And Ferranti has nowhere to go. Holy crap. Charles Jackson kamikazed the field. And never in my life would I think I would see an accident that would usually be caused by a human car take out and cause such a huge wreck. You see Tringale's got damage, Johnson's destroyed, Hanley's destroyed, Ferranti's destroyed, Phil Parker is spinning, there's smoke everywhere, and there's more cars coming. Deaver is going to inch by from the looks of things. There's Patrick Sick making contact. Arndt, Mills, Als, they're around. Phil Parker's going to be unable to avoid Jackson here. More damage and craziness for the 11 cars. Jose Mills, I think, is going to slide in. Insult to injury here. Yes, more damage. My gosh. Tell me Qualls goes high at least. I think he goes high. Okay. Let's take some onboards. On board with the rear view camera from Seth Cole. My goodness gracious. On board the roof camera of Alex Ferranti. Oh my gosh. And that's how Ferranti's promising race comes to an end. TJ Hanley had no idea. And he got the wheel back going, but his car is destroyed. Finally inside the car of Charles Jackson. There's that just a little bit. They're just spinning the tires here. And oh my gosh. Oh, geez, what's some hard licks to add on? Insult to injury. Let's take you to the last race restart of the event. Well, what I thought would be a promising finish to the race ended up turning to crap. Out of the race, Jose Mills, Charles Jackson, John Arndt, Phil Parker, Alex Ferranti, Sam Odoskin, Jay Jefferson, Marty Johnson, and TJ Hanley. We're under 10 to go. It's going to be a single file restart. There are 12 cars on the lead lap. So let's take you through those 12 cars. Jonathan Zorlin leads the field. He's got 3 lap down cars in between him and second place Zack Flickinger. Jessica Shelton, 3rd. Fitzwater Sr., 4th. Edwin Mendez in 5th. Gardner, 6th, has somehow survived. James Gual, 7th. Alex Gray, 8th. Rob Evans, 9th. Patrick Sick, 10th. Cole Deaver, 11th. And Austin Alves, 12th. It's 3 laps. These cars take about a lap and a half to get up to speed. Depending what these 3 lap cars do, I mean, anyone in front of Nico Tringali, I think, is going to have the best chance to win. Actually, no, hold that thought. Fitzwater's got back end damage. I think it's going to come down to Shelton, Flickinger, or Sorlin. Depending on the restart Sorlin gets, he could lead these guys the whole 3 laps. Andrew Rich did the same thing here last year. What a race. I'm in utter disbelief that this has occurred. Definitely going to have to do a crash comp apparently. And by the way, for anyone who thinks this is on 110% strength, it is not. This is 100% strength racing. And weird door banging hooks do not occur because of a strength level. And it looks like Seth Cole will quickly duck below Sorlin, maybe looking to at least finish the race on the lead lap. Shelton gets by Sanford easily. Now she's going to try and follow fellow Chevrolets. Seth Cole puts Sorlin to the top. Could this be Jessica Shelton's redemption race? The rest of the field is getting held up by Tringali and Sanford. Shelton to the inside of James Shelley. Sorlin with 0 draft support. Does Sorlin get down to block the 0-2? Nope, he won't do it. Or will he? It's very close. 2 to go. And Sorlin gets to her inside. We'll see where the help occurs here for Sorlin, though. Shelton trying to set up a run. It's just her, Sorlin, and Flickinger. Cole Deaver has made his way all the way from 11th to the top 5. And there's the move by Shelton. Good friend of hers, Seth Cole, in front of her. Who's he going to give the draft to? We're coming to the white flag. And with this, we will go to our grand spectator camera. Shelton had Sorlin by an inch at the start-finish line. Last lap of the Daytona 500. It comes down to 3 cars, just like it did 2 years ago. Shelton, the advantage down the corner, but Sorlin gets the run through the straightaway. Does Sorlin get enough to clear Jessica Shelton? He does not, but he's got the preferred line. Coming out of turn 4. It's not going to be enough. Jonathan Sorlin wins the Daytona 500. Shelton will end up second. Flickinger third. Edwin Mendez in his return to the series gets a fourth place finish. Rob Evans, top rookie of the race, in fifth. Alex Gray sixth. Cole Deaver seventh. James Qualls eighth. Defending champ Jonny Gardner in ninth. Patrick Sick 10th. Alves will come home 11th. Fitzwater 12th. And Seth Cole will get 13th. Shearer, Shelley, Tringali, Sanford a lap down 14th to 17th. And Caleb Hoffman, who somehow survived 3 laps down, ends up 18th. And with that, the race is official. So I hit the wrong key. Now I know, just in case my game crashes, we're all good. So TJ Hanley, Marty Johnson, 19th and 20th, and I'm shocked, guys. I did not expect to see 3 flips here in this race. We saw the 2 flips in the truck race, and I really wasn't expecting it, you know. William Brock went for a ride. Peter Sands went for a very crazy ride. And then Charles Jackson with Jay Jefferson, who got automatically retired because of a glitch spot in the racetrack. I mean, something tells me this game realized that Jefferson and Jackson were going to come straight back up into the track at 190 miles an hour, and Jefferson was actually dead sideways. The accident probably would have crashed my game, because that's what happens when NR has super crazy crashes. It crashes people's games. Regardless, that did not happen, and we still had Charles Jackson RKOing TJ Hanley, and the field died, literally. But Jonathan Zorlin has all but locked himself up into the chase, and I told you this was one of my Final Four prediction guys. And Seth Cole showed he was strong today despite getting stuck a lap down. Gardner was showing speed even though he was in a wreck. Still got 9th. And then Cole Deaver at the end went from 11th to 5th and then fell back to 7th. So I'm looking forward to Atlanta. We've got a new package though. Hopefully it's not a crapshoot. That package will be used for Cup only. But with that said, I will see you guys next week at Atlanta.